This tier list is based off of facing all of the AIs on insane difficulty and primarily having access to every available current skin for both units and statues. It also doesn't take into account what avatars I used, but for all of them I just used the giant avatar. And unfortunately I couldn't get footage for Wesley because even after 2 weeks he's the only one that the game wouldn't match me against. So let's get this started.
I'm fine with it. Hey kitty, elgato.
I don't want to make this too long, so luckily the first 2 rows of the entire tournament leaderboard essentially act as the same thing, so that's why they're all in 17th place. They're very easy opponents with little to no deviation in strategy nor spell usage. Most of them use a stone statue and use smaller spells like summoning Pouncer Deads or the occasional Gold Rush spell. They're 1 to 2 stars for a reason, I suppose. At the very least, Zane has a blazing statue, if that's worth saying for his small army sizes and lack of a backline. They also seem to have very little to no, how do I put it, magnifications or stat increases from selecting pretty much any difficulty. Regardless of difficulty, they always just get steamrolled by even small armies or small rushes.
Steal.
In 16th, we have Emily. She primarily utilizes mercs in the heal all spell when battling, and even has a gold magical statue. Problem with that is none of her units are taking enough to actually get the full value from said heal. In order to get value out of that, jeez, I can't read at all. Get the value from said heal. In order to get value out of that, you need units like a Kai Rider, Stone Giant, or even Griffin the Great. Other than the gold magical statue, she doesn't use any other types of skins, and her army composition isn't the most powerful either. Honestly, it would have been better if they gave her any of the Merrick statues. Heal all, like I said earlier, none of her units have that big of a health pool for heal all double duration to matter. She doesn't even use Lightning Storm either. It's a real missed opportunity, honestly. Actually, I could have sworn in the earlier verse she actually had a Merrick statue. I don't know why they changed that though, because that did not make her difficult at all. 15th place, we have Grug. He isn't too impressive, slightly better than the lower tournament players in army composition, but refuses to train archers and heavily relies on Savage Skin's anti-stun to try and put up an offensive. His entire strategy falls apart to basic spiritual setups. Yeah, I swear, he never uses archers, and if he does, it's either 1 or 2. I don't know if he even uses magical either. I remember back in older versions where he'd actually use a Stone Giant as part of his reinforcements, which was pretty cool. Actually, I don't know if any other... No, none of the other tournament players even use Stone Giant anymore. It's like it's either Kai Rider or Griffin the Great. That's a real shame.
Oh.
For number 14, we have Vin. His strategy is attempting to Sword Wrath rush you without anything that actually makes it powerful. Only seeing his blazing statue and tries to rush you too late, and tries to start rushing you at too late of a point you can defend it with very little trouble. If you can't take it out early on, he's going to struggle later on in the match. His whole strategy is literally just, like I said earlier, Sword Wrath spam. If you get him to endgame, he gets like a couple Spiritons, maybe Archer or 2, and a Giant. Then the rest is Sword Wrath. And of course, all of that obviously gets cleared out by a good stack of Archers, a Giant Earthquake, a couple Magic Heal, all sorts of stuff. Heck, even a Blazing Statue would be enough to take out a majority of them. What the? Huh? In 13th place, we have Richardson. Definition of pay to win, has a golden giant statue despite the most expensive and flashy statue being the Midas Xeric statue. That would fit him way better and support the main spells he uses, which is summoning golden archers and spiritons. And he doesn't even use raised golden mine, despite him liking, you know, a gold a lot. Apart from that nitpick, he really is nothing special. Tries to utilize sword and archers primarily, gives wrecked by any competent strategy. It really is a missed opportunity they didn't give him Xeric statue. It doesn't even make him overpowered either. He'd still be relying on those golden archers and spiritons. Which, unless you make the game go on for like an hour, those are not going to be much of a problem. Especially if you've got magic killer giants stunning them.
Oh, my game crashed.
Oh.
Sweet. Those wouldn't be bad.
Onto 12th place, which is Guy. Honestly, a really cool opponent. Does a full melee setup, primarily using Spiritons and Sword Wrath, while they all wear lava skin with a blazing Spiriton statue. Luckily, he actually makes use of it, as he's probably the only tournament player to use Spiriton Madness. And of course, using that, it'll make his Spiritons not only do more damage, but attack faster and automatically throw their spears, which I feel like is not used by any other AI in the game. Well, they really should, because it's such a good spell. Honestly, I think it's my most underrated spell. You cannot. In 11th place we have 11th. In 11th place we have Serenity. She's not anything too special, but the fact that she has Archon statue with Archon range spell accessible skyrockets her past recent tournament players. It's actually just that busted, especially on Gold Rush. If you don't garrison in time, it'll more than likely more likely than not, take out a good chunk of your archers, economy, and magic kill. If she didn't have Archon statue with the spell tied to it, she would be like probably around Grug. Like, she's not anything special apart from that, because that spell with the Archon statue boost is it's just that busted and annoying at the same time. Worst part is she's not even the only one who uses it. She's like the weaker one who uses it. In 10th place we have Zac. This is when tournament players noticeably ramp up. He has high damage output for just about everyone in his units, but they're also pretty fragile. It's especially notable with his Sword Wrath. He does utilize slightly more advanced user control. It summons Golden Archons every now and then. I think he also just uses the basic spells apart from summon deads, but I could be wrong about that. It's lost! Number 9 we have Wesley. He was formerly one of the top 4 toughest NPCs until the recent, not even recent anymore. I think it's, at the very least it's a months old tournament update. Now he's been knocked down to like a 7-star difficulty player, but he's a lot more defensive than offensive. And of course, since I don't have footage, because he kept dodging me somehow, he uses the ice statue's slow effect along with a statue turret to try and put up a defense when he's back into a corner, which is, unless he has other units around, pretty dangerous. But if he doesn't, then it's just a little bit annoying, because now he's just stalling at that point.
Attention, all proud warriors! What the dog doing? What the dog doing?
In 8th place, we have Vlad. He uses both Deads and a Blazing Marokai statue. He doesn't use them enough to form a horde, but in classic mode, they can kind of throw a wrench to your plans if you're not actively preparing for them. He relies on Lightning Storm and Vampire Skin to try and out-heal your units in battles. It's a shame he almost never uses said Lightning Storm, though. It's also a shame that he doesn't use Giant Earthquakes, then that's a real heal source. I feel like I should be adding more onto this, but I actually have nothing more to really say about Vlad. No, there's more to go, but hang on, what's in here? I knew it! In 7th place, we have Deathfang. Deathfang is what Vlad wishes he could be. All undead skin with a gold Marokai statue, heavily focused on getting an army started and applying constant pressure via rising deads from the undead skin and the deads he constantly sends with his spells. He also overextends a lot. Defend his pushes well enough, and then you hit him back with everything you got. His Kyrider Unique Forces is a non-issue ever since they made his basic melee attack only hit one unit at a time, which I still think is one of the worst changes for a unit in Stick War Legacy. Especially when in Stick War 3 he says AoE attacks, and a whole kit of problems that should be saved for talking about another time. I think... At number 6 we have Icky. His playstyle matches his looks. A whole lot of blue, and, like the electric current going through his hair. Yeah, whatever. All Voltaic with a nice statue to go with it. Since Voltaic has a percent HP boost, all these units on Insane end up with a massive health pools that gives them enough time to charge up their Voltaic attacks and have it chain throughout your armies. Only problem with that is in Classic and Barricades, he's somewhat reliant on his miners having big health pools and his ice statue to defend early attacks. So if you get something like a Blazing Bolts Archer or a Voltaic Archer, and starts sniping him, that's when he runs into issues. Because obviously his statue can't defend him, and a user control archer can stay out of range of his castle archers. At number 5, we have Sean. And if you remember me yapping about Serenity's Archidon spells being busted, this is the guy whose Archidon spells actually busted. I don't know who decided to make this annoying up when the update first came out, but whoever did probably knows some sort of secret torture method. Sean's Archidon range seems to be the most annoying and most effective out of everyone, constantly sniping magic killing Archidons left and right. Uses all ice on all his units and even his statue. If you thought about retreating in mid-battle because of an Archidon range, good luck getting away. That's not to mention he's actually pretty tough as an opponent, especially because, you know, he has all ice, so if he controls a Sword Wrath, an Archidon, or a Spearton, he's able to just lock the unit in place. And for his reinforcements, it's kind of weird. Like, someone's one of the Western elites, like a single elite Spearton and Archer, and they don't really do much.
And get your very own toy shotgun, included free of charge.
Now we're at the final 4, which is only the final tournament players that you meet, well, at the finals of said tournament. Anyways, the main man of the hour, which is Crazy J, is somehow the easiest of all final tournament players. CJ focuses on rushing down with Sword Wrath and using the dead skin to pile up the pressure. The difference between him and someone like Vin is that he's able to properly back up said pressure. His skin setup for his units is pretty good. It's a shame that he relies so much on Sword Wrath spam though. He really likes to use both Summon Archidon and Summon Golden Spirit spells, and he even has a line of him saying Shiny Gold. Surprisingly enough, doesn't use Gold Rush nor Summon Gold Mine. His statue is also, it's also a missed opportunity. He doesn't use Training Haste. Man. Oh well. And third, we have Ruthless. Honestly, Ruthless and Cyrus are kind of interchangeable, but I put Ruthless a bit lower as she tends to use summon dead spells, which can stop her from using her more powerful spells at times. Although you do have to watch out for control your Archidons. If she manages to land a hit on a fragile unit, they're basically done for it, as that burn alongside the damage on Insane difficulty is basically 150 plus damage to a singular unit, because status effects are boosted by Insane difficulty multipliers. Well, the only ones that are boosted are like Poison and Burn. Ice still remains the same. I mean, she does have Griffin the Great in her reinforcements, which is pretty cool. Like just about everyone else. Not everyone else. Cyrus also does, so yeah. And second, we have Cyrus. Cyrus is a bit better than Ruthless. For one, he doesn't use any summon dead spells, opting for Gold Rush and Archidon Rain instead. He also uses Ice Sword that he actually controls and becomes a threat with him, since he can outright lock a unit in place if you use a control freeze. Other than that, he's right under Hacker, as he tends to be slightly more threatening with user control compared to Ruthless, because their only real dangerous unit user control is Lava Archers. I'm not counting Griffin the Great because that's a spell. Plus, both Cyrus and Ruthless use that. His golden archers are affected by his skins, but ours aren't, which I think is pretty dumb. It's still dumb that we can't use a control deaths yet.
Chicken.
We'd like to take a moment to announce all our food keeps blowing.
Now at first place, of course, is Hacker.exe. He's at the top for multiple reasons. His spells are kind of basic. He, for whatever reason, still uses summon dead spells that can stop him from using something like Summoning a Merrick or a Golden Archer. His units have multiple skin abilities. His Archidons are smaller, making it much harder to snipe them past the large Sword Wrath and Spiritons he utilizes. His Magic Kill are basically useless since he uses both Undead and Ice Skin combos, which may as well make him a default Magic Kill. He even has Swift Giants that use a Savage Voltaic combo, but it doesn't give a charge. And if getting past those hurdles wasn't enough, trigger the reinforcements spawns the final boss for the campaign. Copy and paste his stats and all. If he didn't take out his other units, they'll support said final boss, and he's able to control it, boosting its damage by a ton. And yet, even with every single advantage he has, his strategy is not very good. He's so reliant on trying to use his mix-ups of skins that his playstyle is kind of basic.
Oh. Obbies.
That's the whole tier list. If you don't agree with it, you can always tell me why in comments. But one thing I wanted to say before ending the video was, I don't know if I really want to continue the Stick or 2 Chaos mod on stream, mainly because I still feel like I haven't properly bounced out the audio for my microphone yet. So what I'm trying to do until then is try to do more video commentating with my voice while I'm editing, bouncing out the audio to make sure it's not too quiet nor too loud. So I'd appreciate anyone's feedback on all of that.